Since Alex released his video called "I Don't Take Accountability and I Like to Manipulate People," my response, where he pretty much tried to get the internet to believe that Alice was an abuser. She was the one to do all of this stuff to him. It was a normal tactic to show that he was the good person when clearly he wasn't. He was a piece of shit. Originally, I was going to go over every page, but I wanted to try and go over some of the things that stood out. But considering that this document is 750 pages, there is a lot to go over. So buckle in on this one. But fair warning to this, there will be multiple videos because I'm trying to summarize everything and talk about stuff. I'm going to link in the description the link to the document so you can go over and you can read it in your own time if you want to. But yeah, there is so much to talk about. So yeah, it's going to take some time. Before I start, I do want to say that I think Alex needs to leave the YouTube commentary community. After seeing what he has said over the years about people and how he has treated them, thinking that he is this internet sensation, that he thinks that he can lie, he can manipulate people, I generally think he has no leg to stand on, and we've actually seen what he really is like behind the scenes. From now on, he cannot talk about any of these sorts of subjects, considering what he is like himself, and I just absolutely think Alex is a cock. What he did to Slaslow back in the day was absolutely horrible. This shows that Alex needs to be held accountable for all the issues that we're going to be talking in this video and future videos. I do want to say much more about him, but I would be breaking the terms of service, and I don't really want to do that. I wanted to add this part in now in case people kind of skip here and be like, oh, they didn't see it, but I just really wanted to talk about it in case that I don't mention this. So let's read the first part of the document. Trigger warning: mentions of sexual assault, SA, rape, death threats, racism, suicide, depression, and assault. I figured it was best laid out to respond to everything in order of the video he has posted. I apologize for the prompt tweet replies, but having this suddenly all resurface after a year is very triggering, especially when I've been accused of lying despite proving solid evidence of events. I'm hoping that after this I won't have to constantly explain or defend my story, but after hearing the endless lies in the video, I can't stay silent. No one could. There is a lot I need to take responsibility for, like my choice of words, but I can't just sit back and let a completely fabricated version of the story be told. I take responsibility for the confusion my previous statement caused. I realize now that my words were not acceptable, that I should have been more direct. It's not every day someone has to publicly address a situation like this. I did that to myself, and I should have expected something like this. However, I anticipated he would resort to the lying route, as I cautioned in my previous statement. I intend to be fully transparent and provide all supporting documentation. However, due to the age of the evidence, nearly 2 years, and the process of gathering it all, it may take a long time, and this will be a very long document. Firstly, I sincerely apologize for any confusion resulting from my initial statement. Due to our interactions, which often occurred on a weekly if not daily basis, it would have been physically impossible to include every single argument and exchange in one single document. As I noted previously, the document would have been 1,000+ pages, therefore I chose to focus on the most traumatic experiences, highlighting the specific actions that caused me pain. It breaks my heart hearing that in the video he makes claiming of mental abuse being publicly discredited is upsetting. My reactions towards him were deeply rooted in genuine emotion to specific, often harmful situations. While I acknowledge that my responses were sometimes imperfect, I also made mistakes in reacting the way I did by the hurt inflicted upon me. It's an indescribable feeling when confronted with blatant fabrications of the truth. It's a horrible feeling to have someone who caused these events deny the events that they knew very well occurred. I am sorry for the offensive words I used to hurt Alex back, calling him a retard, autistic, fat. I knew it was wrong, and I used these words to try and hurt him back for hurting me so much. I take full accountability for this, and I should have been more transparent in my first document where I had said that I went down to his level with insults back at him. These words are wrong to use. I have been better myself since this relationship. I hope I haven't offended, and if I have, I really am deeply sorry and full of regret. I've been ashamed. I feel like I had to use these words to hurt him back, and I used everything I could think of. The narrative of saying that I had been threatening and abusing throughout the whole relationship is false, and I debunk every statement made about it. I've always said I was never innocent, and I reacted back to things he said and did. I said that in my first statement. I definitely wasn't innocent towards the end, and I'll admit I was toxic at the end of the relationship because I really grew to hate the person I was in. I had been promised everything would get better after I moved in and that it will be proven. He claimed there was no talk about being worried to move in together, yet I put it in my original statement. I'm reliving this again, and the manipulation is still happening in that video. I know I was toxic after this. I wish it wasn't who I turned into, but it was, and I have to admit that I haven't lied about anything I said in my first statement. Everything I wrote there happened. The video I linked in my first statement, Alex threatening violence, is dated May, having just made it official in March. The abusive language was implemented early in the relationship by him. Months and months of this could change anyone, and I am sorry to myself mostly for staying in this and becoming toxic as I did. So if you've not seen that video, Alex literally lies in it. He manipulates his audience, saying that Alice is a bad person, she's done all this shit, and yeah, like, it's absolutely fucking disgusting what Alex did, and I think this was his plan from the start. I generally think that he thought if he made this video, then everyone would turn on her, and he didn't think that Alice would drop something like this and that he could get away with it. He's already uploaded more videos to his second channel and pretty much just feels like nothing happened. He was on an extended holiday and he came back and he was like, oh man, this is fucking good, this is. Yeah, everyone's going to believe me. Everyone's going to believe me. Obviously, he had bloodshot eyes, like it looked like he was crying, and his quivering voice all the way through. On certain parts, he would kind of emphasize things, hoping that people would believe him. He tried to imply that she didn't go to the police,
claiming I've been harassing him for a year, when I have been harassed by multiple burner accounts, baiting a reaction and conversation about Alex. All I am doing is replying, I am not harassing him, by clearing up misinformation and rage bait. On Twitter, I received many of mean comments, trying to spin this narrative that he has now come out with. I had at least 10 new accounts, and more come at me for the same exact things, so it was obviously one person. I apologise for responding, but it's hard not to. I fell for a lot of the rage bait given to me. It's hard coming out about so much, and being instantly shut down. Me replying to bait doesn't prove any inconsistencies. It proves that I didn't know what was best for me, and I was defending myself. I've been defending myself for so long, it's all I think to do.
I allegedly think that Alex was the one who would create these accounts and go at Alice, as he thought, well, if I mess up her story, if she gets really angry, then I can use these screenshots against her. It's a general tactic that I generally think that Alex would have done. Obviously, he wasn't really doing anything for an entire year, so he could instantly just make these burner accounts and go after her, stalk her, do whatever. It wouldn't surprise me that he thought he was doing something that would prove that he was in the right when clearly he wasn't at all. He knew he couldn't come back from any of this, but Alice brought more receipts, and Alex can never recover from this.
Responding to my cropped screenshots cropping out his name, I didn't include this for obvious reasons that it was offensive, childish, and very fucked up. Hiding it was wrong, and I should have explained then and there why I did that. Using that word is inexcusable, and I am ashamed by it. I thought adding this in would discredit what he had done to me, and that was selfishly my main point to put out. It was more because he would throw this word around as an insult towards me, which I gave evidence on in my first statement of him chasing me around the house screaming at me. In no way am I racist, and I'm so sorry I ever did this. I'm just extremely stupid for doing it, and ignorant with my choice of words, when I named him that in my phone. I mention Alex using racist words because he used them on me aggressively. Not once have I ever used this word in an aggressive way, and I was ignorant for even using words to imply this word, like the shrimp comment I made to him while we were joking around. The screenshots I'm going to show are triggering, but I'm showing this to prove I did not use this language like Alex did, nor did I bring this language into the relationship.
I'm putting these messages up so you can see, and hopefully by the time that I finish this part of the segment, you can see what Alex was saying all the time in text messages. A lot of people said that Alice didn't take accountability for all of what she said, but I did see that she did apologize. I know that it should never have been said, but I'm not actually seeing Alex apologize or take accountability for this. He pretty much said it to her most of the time, and you can see this. To me, now that she's taken accountability, then we can move on from this part. She's apologized, that's it. It wasn't great, and I generally don't think anyone should be saying that sort of word, but obviously Alex went fucking crazy with it. Like, he was in a candy shop just taking what he wanted. The one thing that with Alex, though, is that he knew he was saying it all the way through the relationship, and to me proves what a little racist that he is. I'm pretty sure that he's made videos on other people talking about this, and he's called them out. He's old enough to know what that word does, and to throw it around and insult people like it, or even his partner at the time, is absolutely horrible, and I have no idea why you would say this sort of thing. I would imagine that if Alex was saying it with his friends, then they would applaud him and be like, "Go, little guy, go!" It's absolutely fucking disgusting behavior of what he was saying to her, and even trying to use it as an insult. It's absolutely fucking horrible.
He claims I lied about him ever being diagnosed, and at the time, it was not a lie. Throughout the whole relationship, I told him to seek therapy and receive the help he needed, and he didn't. He said he tried therapy, and it didn't work. This was for his general health. Nothing in particular sparked this, just how he was towards work and friends. He has now, since the date in that picture, been diagnosed, which I was completely unaware of. Our last date of contact was the 29th of May 2024. So yes, I said he wasn't diagnosed because that is what I knew. In his diagnosis, it reads that he was aggressive towards me, undeniable, and that he would have anger outbursts. This completely contradicts his story that he has made in this video, as he's saying he would always express sadness, crying, and being abused, when that is not the truth. He says I showed no proof of him threatening to discredit my side of the story and threatening me to not come out with this publicly, when he came to me manipulating a story he made, claiming he will use the fact I hit him after he received messages of me admitting to slapping him once, which I never hid or denied. You can see his inconsistencies in these claims he makes, as it started with a slap, moved onto a punch, and now he is claiming kicks and regular physical abuse and donkey kicks in the head and neck. I am so clear and will always admit my wrongs. Yes, it was wrong to slap him that one time, but it was all I felt I could do to get myself out of the situation I was in at the time. All can offer here is the whole uncropped version of this conversation, so I apologise, this will be a very long document, but I'll feel that's what is necessary here. Before I didn't share every single message, as I was trying to show what he had done to me, and not the whole relationship. I understand how this has now come back on me and made me look like I was trying to paint myself as a saint, but I had stated in the first document that I am not innocent. I admit to my wrongs and always have, but in no way was the abuse I received mutual. In the proof, gave in my first statement, you have a clear-cut look on the inside of what Alex was like with me, and how aggressive he was. Yes, I said mean things. Yes, I slapped him once to defend myself, and yes, things got toxic and I started avoiding and not liking being around him. That is down to being abused.
I think with the whole thing where he lied about the diagnosis is a massive low for him. How was she meant to know about this, because she had no contact with him? And you can see the last time they did, which was on the 29th of May 2024. And when you look at the diagnosis, yeah, it's in the 3rd of July and typed on the 5th of July. So how could she know about this if there's been no contact? Does Alex think that Alice can read his mind? That the NHS would contact her and tell her absolutely everything? If she didn't know at the time, how was she meant to put it in there? Alex loves to manipulate on all of this, but to be honest, it just shows me that he can't be trusted about absolutely anything. Why would you lie about this? You know, Alex shows the date, so people are going to be looking at it. It just seems to me that he wanted to try and call her out, which didn't work. If people believed him, he would be like, oh man, like people can read the dates. But obviously, when the actual evidence comes out, he's going to look like a massive cunt, like he already is. I think Alex can't read or write properly in this day and age. The writing part is coming much later in another video, but to think that when you're saying you were never abusive or anything, and you hold up a document saying that you were, doesn't paint you in a good light. From what we've heard in the actual voice notes, then it proves you are a danger to people, Alex, and you should be seeking proper help, not going to an online therapist. Go see someone properly. You have a lot of anger issues, and yet what are you going to do? You're just going to keep it with the next person, and especially if this is all earlier on in the relationship, you're just going to go after them, aren't you? You're just going to go and have a pop at them for no reason. In the next conversation, you see that he is trying to get out of things. I'm going to talk over this while I put the screenshots up. So again, you can see what he's like and how he thinks he's going to get away with all of this. The way Alex opens up this conversation is that he knows he's finished completely. There is way too much stuff that he said to Alice over the amount of time that they spent together. He's trying to get her to be quiet because of all the things that she has on him. It's more that she could and has ended his career on the internet. The internet sensation has come to an end and will never be able to come back from this. At no point does Alex take accountability properly in this, nor does he address what Alice was asking. Alice says that Alex dragged her around and kicked her. She says it many times and he doesn't say it. Now, he probably knows that if he said that he actually did all of this, it would be game over for him 100%. He would not be able to come back whatsoever due to his actions. He tries to play it all off, which isn't a thing you can do. He thought his opening paragraph would be enough to make Alice go, okay, yeah, cool, yeah, I accept it. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. And he would have gone off to make many, many more videos on Jojo Siwa or people on TikTok, thinking that he is the king of the internet. In these messages, he dodges absolutely everything and doesn't actually take accountability or responsibility for anything. I generally think that Alex thinks that if he kept going on and on and on, she's just going to go, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. And he's just going to be like, yay. In Alex's video, he talks about how Alice was always hitting and kicking and abusing him, but not once does he say this in any of the messages to her. All he wants to do is get her in a call so that he could probably have a go at her one last time, try and get her to be silent and never bring this up so he can do this again and again to someone else. Like, you know he's going to do it. The way he's like, I'm sorry I haven't been able to make you feel heard is actually fucking vile. Like it's some sort of HR thing where she's been let go from a job and now that she's filed a complaint or left a bad review on Glassdoor. It just feels like at the end of every sentence, he wants to say, but how does that make you feel? In this entire conversation, she says, please leave me alone. But he just won't do it. All Alex wants is that he doesn't want Alice to talk about anything. If she said, I won't, I guarantee that he would have left her alone and gone, good talk, Alice. And he would have blocked her, probably gone, phew, that was easy. Alex knew that he was shitting his pants after seeing what Alice would put out there. And he went straight to try to get her to be quiet, trying to go the sly route just to get what he wanted. He also threatens her in this conversation, such as, if you keep posting stuff, it will end up being a huge problem. There are also little other threats in this entire conversation as well. Alice states so many times on the stuff that Alex did to her, and not once has he ever said, I never did this or that. The fact he said she never abused him, and then in his response video, he said that she absolutely did. So what was the whole plan there, Alex? I would really want to know. I generally think one of his plans was to have his audience go after Alice and tell her that she was lying and just kind of make her life miserable. One thing in these conversations that I really like Alice saying is, what's your goal here? Like, I want you to get to the point. When someone comes into your DMs like this, then you would think that they would get to the goal really quickly, like get to the meat and potatoes really quickly rather than pussyfooting around. We know Alex is an absolute pussy anyway, so maybe this is his main thing. Maybe this is how he talks to people. The overall thing is that he just wanted her to be silent. That's it. So he could continue doing what he wants to do and not care about it. That's all he wanted. I don't know what has happened in his life to make him do this, but it shows no matter what he says from now on, he cannot be trusted. He cannot be trusted with giving any information because he's just going to lie. He's just going to lie, isn't he? What I said in my previous video is that Alex could at any time show these messages to kind of help him debunk whatever, but he didn't. He hid behind the same amount of messages, 5 thinking that he could spin an entire narrative around, and it just absolutely didn't work. I also think that he just deleted the messages, thinking that obviously he's never going to need them, so he couldn't go back. So he just used little messages to try and prove a point that didn't work. He has no leg to stand on. He just wants to control everything, and he is just a fucking dick. On screen right now, you are seeing some of the messages from one of Alex's old roommates. Yeah, I'm guessing he's not living with them anymore. And you can see the sort of stuff that he has been saying when in that call. I'm guessing it was probably one of the Discord calls, I'm guessing maybe the brick one. But yeah, you can see right now of all the stuff that he's saying, and it's just fucking vile. But you can see that when his roommates confronted him, he had nothing to say. He was not able to give a proper comeback whatsoever, and they absolutely knew that he did all these things. How could you face your roommates when they call you out and you're just like, I don't know why I said that, I don't know. Like, it's so fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. He's just a fucking horrible piece of shit. This shows that he is an actual fucking toad. It's fucking horrible. I generally think that he just wants to be this huge big man, that he can be in charge of people. Like, everyone looks up to him when he makes his toad face, and he thinks that he is Billy Big Balls. And again, why is he even talking about subjects on women when he can't respect anyone? This to me is something really worrying, and I don't see him worming his way out of this one at all. After reading all these messages, how can he even come back to the internet and talk about what he normally talks about? When you read stuff like, the conversation the other day, you called me a cunt. Yeah, I called you an unlovable whore, but you called me a cunt. Like, what the fuck? Do you speak to your mother like this? Also, using the N-word just shows me how a horrible little racist Alex is.
About me not wanting to be near him, I pushed him away from me in bed as he was trying to cuddle and be close to me after everything he had done to me. I was holding a grudge for a very long time after the night he dragged me to the floor. This is why I was toxic after. Not once in these messages does he claim the donkey kick to his head, because that is a lie. In his video, he instantly says this statement here is a lie, that it didn't happen, and that his proof of this not happening was because I didn't text him about it on that day. We lived together. I didn't need to text him immediately after. But Elle did text him multiple times after the event happened on different days that he does not show. This is inconsistent and a lie on his part. There is no accountability taken for this argument, and it's heartbreaking to hear it be called a lie by the man who did it. This was one of the main events that turned me sideways. After this happened, I went to the point of avoiding him and not wanting to be around him.
Not everyone is going to text people. I've said it in other videos, but if you're going to live together, then most of the time you're going to talk about stuff face to face. You're not going to be instantly texting them. I don't think everyone's glued to their phones to have to send messages to people all the time. It makes no sense. You aren't going to go into their room, just stand there, look at them, deadpan, text them, and then just leave when you can ask them directly. I want to know why Alex hasn't taken accountability for anything like this. Or is it just something that he thinks will blow over? Alex should have stayed off the internet and never should have come back. He should have found a better job and just done that for the rest of his life rather than coming back to the internet and trying to make a comeback.
His excuse for doing this was that I can't be screaming in a rented house and that he had to do something to stop it. When in reality, the screaming from both ends wasn't stopping, so I tried walking away. Alex never liked when I dismissed something like this by walking away for the moment or not talking at the time, as I needed to get away and breathe. That is when he grabbed the hood of my dressing gown. He pulled me and I fell to the floor. He's in my face at this point, telling me to not go anywhere, and that's when I get up to get to the bathroom, in which he stops me, holds me in a headlock, and at this time, yes, I am screaming. He covered my mouth and told me to stop screaming. I got him off me and locked myself in the bathroom, where he continued to scream at me, calling me crazy, telling me to move out after what he had just done. This happened. His reasoning to do this was to shut me up, as he was scared to be kicked out of the house, as it's rented. This happened in the AM. It was a stupid time. I can't remember if it was before or after sleep, so yes, going on to the next day, I tried to move past this. I excused his actions because of my screaming and was still trying to process what had happened to me. In multiple conversations after this happened, I threatened that if he got physical again, I would leave. I tried leaving the situation, and he did not let me.
This just here proves that Alex is a monster. This is one of the nuclear takes that is now out there. This shows that Alex is the type of person to actually hurt women. Reading that he grabbed her hood, pulled it down to the ground. You covered her mouth. For what, Alex? What would you have done? For you not to be kicked out of the house? You do know that they don't kick you out of the house for a little bit of noise, but you would rather attack women and think it's okay? This is absolutely fucked up. And again, I know I keep saying it like a broken record. There is no coming back for you on this one, you little troll. You actually would hurt women because they walked away from you? What sort of man would do that? Alex does a classic move when something like this happens, buying things to make their partner happy. Oh, I know you like Pokemon cards, so I thought I'd treat you to them. This is like when a celebrity does something bad that they go and then give to charity, hoping that people would forgive them all.
Alex claims that on this night, we argue over him being in bed, where he says, "Donkey kick his head and neck," is the night where he dragged me, saying he grabbed me. This whole story he tells is fabricated, and 2 different nights. He also mentions the cat situation again and slips up, saying he is in bed talking to the cat. When the cat situation happened, we were in the kitchen. He uses screenshots constantly from different conversations to create new ones. Here is a conversation where he takes me calling him horrible names and cuts out context to add it to this new story. Like I have said many times, everything I ever said to him was a reaction to shitty things he had said to me first. This was a massive trigger to me as I begged him to stop insulting me.
This is the part of the document about them playing a game. Alex just goes off on Alice. The way that I see this is that Alex doesn't know how to be in a relationship at all. He's always going on saying that she's single and that he hates her and that he goes off on her all the time. It just baffles me on how he can't actually talk to her properly. The way that I see that, if something bad happens that he can't take it, he instantly goes straight to ending the relationship and just has a go at them, making them feel small and insulting them. He goes to the extreme all the time, and then when he's given some sort of resolution, then he just wants them to make them feel bad, which is a stupid thing. If that's the way you want to go after playing a video game, then you really need to think, do you want to be with someone? Or maybe just don't play video games. Fucking simple. Why not play Hello Kitty Island Adventure? Because we know that you're a pussy, Alex.
What Alex has is a fungal skin infection brought on from being unhygienic. He told me about his depressive past, where he didn't look after himself years before we met. He then goes to claim it got worse and was only itchy when I hit him. This, again, is a lie. His infection got worse as he avoided putting on his cream daily. I kept reminding him and helping him put this on, but he was lazy with it and wasn't consistent. He was also allergic to bear, as he is allergic to cats. That made his itching worse. The first time around where it started to clear up, he said he didn't need to use it anymore, as it was gone. But I kept telling him to keep using it, as it was still slightly there. It then came back bigger and more itchy. He claims in his video that his fungal skin condition gets worse because of me, and that I hated him having his shirt off because of this. This isn't true. I didn't ever judge Alex for this, and I even helped him try to get better. I helped put on his cream daily. Not once do I shame Alex for this, and there isn't any proof of his lies. He then said, "This is why I kicked him and called him fat. I'm sorry for using words that are body-shaming insults like fat, but I never actually meant these words. I'm at my breaking point and retaliating. In no way was I doing it because I was sick of Alex being a certain way. Alex isn't fat. I just used the word in my insults, for example, fat wanker. I said, I go just as low as Alex, and getting verbal abuse from Alex every argument is enough to push me there. I'm sorry if this offended anyone. Alex always told me in bed that he was itchy, and never once was this from anyone being physical. I was not. I didn't judge Alex for this, and I knew it was not contagious, so I did not care about it or about him being shirtless, etc. I was with him for 8 months, staying at each other's houses and sleeping in the same bed for him. To now say when living together, I switched up is a lie.
Now I'm slightly shocked. Granted, that's a bit weird. On Alex being lazy and couldn't be bothered to clean himself for all that time, I thought he would have been on point with washing, but hearing that he lied about that and tried to make that Alice was the person who would just go after him for what he couldn't control with the infection, but to hear it's just that he was lazy and he couldn't be bothered to wash properly. What the actual fuck? She wanted to help him and make sure it was all gone, but yeah, it just went, nah, I just want my body to be infected with this horrible thing. Imagine lying to your audience and to other people so that Alice gets hate because you were too fucking lazy to actually put cream on to get rid of this thing. Like, generally, if the itching and pain was so bad, you'd be in a bath full of that cream. It's just so weird that you would just not put it on because you want to itch your body. Like, fucking make that make sense. Oh my god, you're just so fucking lazy, Alex. What makes me laugh as well is that you're allergic to cats. So you got your own cats. Like, hey, I get really allergic, my body itches, I can't stand it, but I just want cats. Like, what the fuck? Like, generally, this guy is fucked in the head. Also, genuine question, Alex. Do you blame them? I want to know. That were me, I wouldn't want to be around cats that would actually make my skin itch. It's something that I wouldn't want to put myself through. Alex is one of those people that once things are gone, then, it's out of the mind. You think you would want to get rid of that infection straight away, and then having it come back, being itchier and bigger. I generally think of the shocked Pikachu face when he's just like, why is it here? It's so fucking weird. Generally, to blame Alice for all of this when she's tried to help you, yet you're being very manipulative, saying that she never wanted to and yet she hated being around you. But the way that Alex talks about this, like his itchy skin, just reminded me of that one entry in Resident Evil where they find out about the virus. It's so fucking weird. Oh god, so fucking weird.
So quickly, here's the proof he did break my glasses and lied about it in this video.
Remember how Alex was like, I never broke the glasses. How he was like, he would never do that. Kind of makes you think, why would you send £400 for them? Why would you do that, Alex? I bet he thought he could get away with it and then they would laugh, but it cost you £400 to replace them. It's just so fucking weird that he would do it, and just proves how much of a cock he is. For now, I think I'm gonna leave it there. There is a ton of stuff in this, and again, we're not even halfway through all of this, like some of the big parts in there. Either way, there is so much more that I do want to go through. Do I think that Alex is going to come out and talk about absolutely everything? I generally don't. If he does, I'd be very surprised, but all of this and just the tip of the iceberg shows what a massive cockwomble he is. If he did, then I know that he would use the same screenshot over 10,000 times and we would be here for 900 years. But for now, what do you think about this? Let me know down below in the comments and let's discuss. And while you're down there, why not hit the like and the subscribe button? I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so I know we can smash this goal. And with that, I'm going to bring the video to a close. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.